What if something could enter your brain and control everything you do, every movement, every decision, every thought? You would have no idea. You would feel completely normal, while something else was driving. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now in Earth's oceans. Welcome back to Abyssal Zone, where we explore the most disturbing mysteries of Earth's oceans. Today, we're revealing 5 ocean creatures with the ability to control other animals completely. Their minds, their bodies, their behavior. These creatures don't just hunt their prey. They hijack them. Stay until the end, because number 1 will make you question everything you know about free will. Let's begin. Creature 5, Sacculina. It begins as something almost invisible, a microscopic larva drifting through the ocean, searching for a specific target. A crab. Any crab? When it finds one, it locates a soft joint in the crab's shell and injects itself inside. What happens next is one of the most disturbing things in all of nature. Sacculina is a parasitic barnacle. Once inside the crab's body, it grows roots, actual roots, spreading through every organ, every tissue, every part of the crab's body, like a plant growing through soil. It reaches the crab's brain and rewrites it. The infected crab stops trying to escape, stops fighting, stops feeding normally. If the host is male, Sacculina chemically transforms it, forcing its body to behave like a female crab. Then Sacculina forces the crab to tend to its eggs, caring for them as if they were its own children. The crab has no idea. It tends to its own parasite's offspring with the same devotion a mother gives her young. Complete mind control, complete body control, complete identity erasure from something smaller than a grain of rice. Creature 4, Cymothoa Exigua, otherwise known as the tongue-eating louse. This creature enters a fish through its gills, finds its tongue, and destroys it completely. It severs the blood supply to the tongue, causes it to atrophy, wither, and fall away. And then it replaces it. Cymothoa Exigua attaches itself to the remaining tongue stub and becomes the fish's new tongue. Permanently, the fish continues eating, continues living, continues functioning with a living parasite as its tongue. Every time the fish eats, Cymothoa Exigua takes a portion of the food for itself. The fish has no choice. It cannot remove it, cannot fight it, cannot escape it. It simply lives, feeding its own parasite every single meal for the rest of its life. Scientists describe this as the only known case of a parasite functionally replacing an organ in its host, not just controlling the body, becoming part of it, permanently. Creature 3, Ophiocordyceps, the zombie fungus. Technically not a sea creature, but found in marine environments and coastal ecosystems worldwide. And what it does deserves to be on this list. Ophiocordyceps is a parasitic fungus that infects ants, crustaceans, and other arthropods. When spores make contact with a host, the infection begins immediately. The fungus grows through the host's body, consuming non-vital tissues first, keeping the host alive, keeping it functional, while simultaneously sending chemical signals directly to its brain, hijacking its nervous system completely. The infected creature begins behaving abnormally. It climbs, always upward, always higher, driven by chemical commands it cannot resist or understand. When it reaches the perfect height, the perfect humidity, the perfect temperature, the fungus commands it to stop, to grip tightly, and never let go. Then it kills its host, erupts through its body, and releases spores from the elevated position, infecting everything below. The host was never making its own decisions. From the moment of infection, it was simply a vehicle, a delivery system for something that had already taken control. Creature 2, Nematomorpha, the horsehair worm. This parasite has one goal above all others: water. It needs to reach water to reproduce, but it lives inside land, insects, crickets, grasshoppers, beetles, creatures that instinctively avoid water. So it solves this problem by rewriting its host's instincts completely. The horsehair worm grows inside its host for months, consuming its fat reserves, growing to extraordinary lengths, sometimes longer than the host's entire body, all while leaving its host alive and functional. Then, when it is ready, it releases chemicals directly into the host's brain, chemicals that completely override its natural instincts. The cricket, which has spent its entire life avoiding water, walks directly toward the nearest water source, deliberately, purposefully, without hesitation, and jumps in the moment it hits water. The horsehair worm erupts from its body, sometimes 3 times the length of the host, and swims away to reproduce. The cricket, if it survives the shock, crawls out of the water, confused, disoriented, with no memory of why it just tried to drown itself, because the thing that was controlling it is already gone. Creature 1. Leucochloridium, the most disturbing mind control parasite ever discovered. It begins inside bird droppings. A snail consumes the droppings, unknowingly ingesting Leucochloridium eggs. Once inside, the parasite begins growing. It sends tubes, called sporocysts, into the snail's eye stalks, filling them completely, pulsating, throbbing, flashing with color, mimicking the appearance of a caterpillar that birds love to eat, but the snail's eyes are deep inside its head. Birds cannot see them there. So Leucochloridium does something extraordinary. It forces the snail into direct sunlight. Snails instinctively avoid light, avoid exposure, avoid open spaces. The infected snail does the opposite. It climbs to the highest, most exposed position it can find, extends its eye stalks fully, and waits, displaying those pulsating, colorful caterpillar-like tubes to every bird flying overhead. When a bird attacks, it pulls out the eye stalk, consuming the parasite, which then reproduces inside the bird, whose droppings fall to the ground, beginning the entire cycle again. The snail survives the attack. Its eye stalk grows back and the remaining parasites inside force it back into the light, again and again and again, for the rest of its life, used, repeatedly, as a living billboard for something that completely owns it. This is what total control looks like. Not violence, not force, just quiet, complete, permanent ownership of another living creature's entire existence. The ocean, and the world connected to it, contains things that make your concept of free will feel very fragile. 5 parasites, 5 different methods of total control, routes through organs, replacing body parts, chemical brain hijacking, overriding instincts, permanent behavioral ownership. And scientists discover new parasites every year, new methods of control, new hosts, new mechanisms. Right now, in the ocean, in the soil, in environments we haven't explored yet, something may have already evolved to control something larger, something more complex. Comment below. Which parasite disturbed you the most? And if you'll never look at nature the same way again, welcome to Abyssal Zone. New deep-sea horrors every single week. The deep is waiting, and so are we.